Okay, this video we're going to be comparing Macau and Hong Kong with Singapore with how they're doing and handling the COVID. And while we do it, we're going to be walking down the Sapala ruins so you can see parts of Hong Kong and this parts of Macau, sorry, in this walk and talk video. So, okay, hope you enjoy it, and let's get started. Go check out the road. Okay, I'm the content creator for this channel. If you like what I'm doing, just subscribe and hit the like button. Okay, so basically all three cities, Macau, Hong Kong, and Macau, have all started with this zero COVID strategy. It's pretty cool. Nice beautiful viewpoints from this area of Macau. We're at Sapala ruins right now, and you can see the Lisboa casino, and we're going to be walking down towards San Malo. So one of the main differences between all three is that how they're doing the end game. So the very first part of it, I think all three places did pretty well with containment, especially Macau was amazing with that, and most of Asia had that, and I think that they were models for the world for how they started out with COVID. And I think Macau, as a person living in Macau and it's been here this whole time, it was really impressive the way that they handled it. I was actually really proud to live here, felt really safe and comfortable. But then things began to change because a vaccine came out. And then when you get the vaccine, what you're supposed to do is make sure your population is safe and get them vaccinated. But Macau didn't do that. Instead, they just continued to chase COVID. And so they have a containment strategy even up to this day. Like, even though the vaccines came out in March and it's already November, almost November now. So they've been throwing away batches of COVID vaccines because they're just not vaccinating people. But the 3 times they tested the whole city to see if anybody had COVID. And these 3 times were within the last couple months. But they could be just vaccinating the remaining part of the city. And because of those cases, every time they test a city like that, they get more people will start getting a vaccination. And then China, they decided to ban Macau people from coming in. So that was quite recently, until they were vaccinated, I believe is what they were doing, or a 2-week quarantine, something like that. And then now the rates are going up, but they're still quite far behind for a small little city that had all the vaccines to begin with. And I think that they threw away most of those vaccines. I've been watching Hong Kong, and they did the same thing. They bought all the vaccines for everybody at the beginning of the when vaccines were available. And then they didn't really encourage people to get vaccinated in their countries, in their respective SARS, Macau and Hong Kong. And then Hong Kong ended up throwing away 5 or 6 million vaccinations that could have been given to another country or could have been used for their own people. And Macau must have done the same thing, because they only had something like, I think when those were thrown away, it's like 6 months. So maybe I don't know exactly the date when those would have expired, but then they have to buy new ones, right, and try to vaccinate people. And even now, they're still not making that requirement. So that's the difference between Singapore. Singapore just kind of told people, they just said, hey, we're going to be opening up, and we're going to be, economically bringing people in, people who have businesses here and jobs here, careers, foreigners who have apartments and a life connected here are going to be able to come into our city. Macau, they cannot come back. If you're a foreigner, you can't come back here to the city. And they said that they can when we get 80 to 90% vaccination rate. So a lot of those people who are not Chinese people, who have homes, apartments, jobs here, have not been able to come back for almost 2 years now. And that would all change really quickly if they just, I know they don't really care about the foreign population at all, otherwise they would allow them to come back. But that would, economically, if they just think of it from an economic perspective, it would really help out the city a lot, just in every kind of way, right? If people were allowed to have that freedom to be able to travel, do business, do whatever they need to do. So we're just kind of going to keep going down. We're in this busy part of Macau. A lot of the people you see here, I want to kind of make sure that this is important. It looks crowded here, and part of the reason is because it's Saturday night. Another reason is because there is open tourism to China. So even though foreigners can't come in, And that's part of the problem right there, is that, you know, anybody from China can come and go in here, and anybody that's Chinese Macau person can go into China with a homecoming visa. So they don't really see that they're isolated. You know, if you're a foreigner, you can't go anywhere, you can't come in, and you can't go out. You know, so you're just in this tiny little city for almost 2 years, and there's no end in sight. But if you're Chinese person, then this is this open city that you can come and go and bring your suitcases and buy a bunch of shopping stuff and just go back home to wherever you are in China, you know, even though it's like thousands of miles away. But if you're a foreigner that's in another place, then you cannot. So that's kind of like some of the frustrations. So for us that are watching Singapore, it's actually quite impressive just watching how Singapore is just made it, you know, and told their citizens, like, okay, we're going to be opening up. You have to get vaccinated if you want to get vaccinated. People are, they know that the ending, and they've already started the ending, so it's already open up, continue to open up more and more and more. And then so those of us that are in places like Macau, I'm sure Hong Kong feels the same way. You know, we're just perpetually stuck here with no ability for movement to see family members or to have, you know, business owners that we know come back to their businesses that are from another country, which is quite a few in this beautiful place of Macau. I have some people interested in the camera, so it's kind of interesting. I can see they're turning around to watch and see what I was filming. But anyways, I'm going to put a little thing at the end and just show you the rates between Singapore, Macau, and Hong Kong. And I'll probably talk again a little bit about it, because I don't know when I'll put the film up. There might be a little bit of a lag between the two. But I definitely want to talk about, definitely want to show the differences on how they're handling the vaccine and how they're getting people vaccinated or not getting people vaccinated, or opening up their economy or not opening up their economy. And I think Macau, for such a small, tiny little city, could really, they could be turned around in 2 weeks if they wanted to. They could just, instead of making everybody do another COVID test later on, they could just get everybody vaccinated and just be done with it. And everybody's vaccinated, and then if anybody gets sick, they're going to be sick for a couple of days. They get over it, they're done. I think all the 8 cases or whatever, they're all people that just were mildly sick to almost none because they were all vaccinated. But meanwhile, we all have to pay the price. But as you can see, it's pretty busy with the mainland China. It's completely open, so so they don't really see it as, for them, for a non-foreigner in Macau, it's they don't really see the need for any of the rest. But anyway, so end there, and then we'll show the video at the end. Looking at COVID vaccines on the COVID Vax Live, and right now I'll put the date down below, exactly the time. Today it's Tuesday night, midnight, and this is exactly where we are at this time. Just to kind of give you an idea of things, this website is in live time, and you can see who's fully vaccinated, and you can see how many. There's 2 vaccinations, just for posteriore's sake, if this video lasts the test time wise. So this means that you divide this in half, and that's 113. That means that everybody's fully vaccinated and lots of boosters already. So places like Cuba, UAE are everybody's fully vaccinated basically. And this is reached means that they have 70%. So right now in this time, everybody's trying to get to 70% because of the statistic about a year and a half ago about trying to get to herd immunity of a population having at least 70% being immune to COVID. We're looking at some other ones. We're going to be comparing Singapore. Here's Singapore right here. So it's at about 85% of the population is vaccinated. And then there's some other ones that are even better at it. But that's pretty impressive. For Asia, Singapore is the, well, UAE is part of it, Asia too. But Singapore on this side of Asia is the leader by a long shot. But you can see some other places like Cambodia is 81%. They've been getting most of their vaccines from China. Let me see, Portugal is connected with Macau, and that's at 80% as well, so that's quite high. China is unbelievable right now, so they're just, every time I look at here, their numbers are just going, just massively vaccinating people, even at midnight at Tuesday. They're just, what is this, like 1,000 every 20 seconds or something like that? And so they're way up there as well. And then you have lots of European countries. Malaysia's way up there as well. European countries meaning like Portugal, Spain, Denmark, Italy. And then yeah, Korea, Japan is up there, so they've hit herd immunity. Malaysia has as well. Lots more European countries: Ireland, France, Norway, Belgium, Finland, Bhutan, Sweden. Bhutan is Asia, so that's a small little nation. I guess it's a little bit bigger than Macau, but they're much better at vaccinating their people for sure. That's a poor country too. I'm surprised. UK is a big country, and I think they're kind of controversial, like the United States, having a little bit of a hard time vaccinating their people due to politics, I believe. But we haven't even got anywhere near Macau yet. So come on, Macau, where are you? Here's Brazil. Brazil is a massive country, much bigger than Macau, and they're just constantly vaccinating people. They're at 63%. So over here, you can see that they're going to hit herd immunity in 15 days. So good job, Brazil. And I think Macau, we're going to get down there pretty quick. Here's United States. That's pretty controversial. Big population, 62%. They're doing pretty well actually, because I think they're having a lot of pushback from half their population, anyways. Finally, we got Macau. There we go. 60%. Good. It's getting up there. So that's in the right direction. And then Hong Kong is they're slower. And Macau was behind Hong Kong. Now they're better than Hong Kong. They should be. They have a much smaller population. Macau has there's not that many people to vaccinate, so it's been kind of shocking that they can't seem to vaccinate them. But it looks like they're starting to get those numbers up. And I heard they wanted to get to 80 to 90% before they start to relax things a little bit. So I don't know. We'll see. Looks like it's still another 23 days just to get 70%, and then I think it's going to get harder and harder to get 80 to 90, especially with how they haven't been able to do very well so far with vaccinations. For being such a small, rich country, they were able to get everybody vaccinated or tested 3 times. So they definitely have the ability, but they're just it's kind of catching up. 51. So that's more or below, of course. A lot of them are African countries, a lot of poor countries, but a lot of poor countries are ahead of Macau and Hong Kong. And yeah, it'd be nice if Macau and Hong Kong can get up there to rates up there like China and Singapore and Malaysia and Cambodia. Those are way up here. So okay, so anyways, that's kind of a comparison, Singapore versus Hong Kong and Macau. So hope you like this video. Let's go check out the room. Oh, hey guys. 3 things: like, subscribe, make some comments below. It'll really help out my channel. All right. Chiquinha.